Hey guys, this is Chesney Hawks here. You are watching My Hammers 11 with the one and only Russ.
Hi everybody, Russ and My Hammers 11. Hope you are all safe and well with your channel. Please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you made reviews when we put new content on. As always, we'd like to thank our lovely channel sponsors, Untuck It. Check them out in the description below. So we have another My Hammers 11 interview today. It's taken a while, Mark, isn't it? It's taken a while, but good things come to those that wait.
Been a very long time, mate. Yeah.
How you doing, big boy? You're right.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate.
How's life? How's life in the little household?
Yeah, mate, all good. Yes, trying to get through this mad pandemic at the moment, but yeah, no, it's all good, mate.
And the boxing, what's the latest on the old boxing now?
I'm hoping for a little bit of news probably later on this week, so I can finally announce a comeback fight, which would be great. But yeah, so hopefully end of this week it should be some good news.
Great. We'll make sure this goes out for the end of this week.
Yeah.
So it'll coincide. It coincides.
Yeah.
It's good, man. It must be tough for you. I mean, obviously we've seen a lot of like, the fight camps and shit like that and things like that. It must be tough when, we've had, I know it's not boxing, but I've spoken to like pro wrestlers and things like that who they love performing, they love working, and then they can't do it. And for you, obviously, you love it, and it's like you haven't been able to do it for so long, it seems. It's just
it's just been crazy, isn't it? I mean, I'm lucky that I've got a job. I'm obviously like I'm not a full-time pro. I mean, I'd love to be a full-time pro, but obviously that ain't the case. But so I'm lucky to have a job, and obviously looks after us still. So that's a good thing. But I just want to get back fighting. It feels like forever. I mean, I was talking to my manager the other day. It's going to be like a debut again. So, but yeah, once I'm back in there, get that first one out of the way, and then hopefully we'll be sort of back to normal. And then it's just let's get the ball rolling again.
Yeah, good man. I watched. I think Joey Cole had a bit of a box
yeah,
up yesterday.
I see a little link. Yeah, I see there was a little link up on something I was looking at. I think it might be Instagram or something the other day.
Yeah,
and I see he had a proper little tear up as well. He did.
He's well up for it. Fair play, little Joe. I can't little Joe. He's same size as me, so we're all little. But no, it's good, man. I think it's and obviously it's just the same with all sport. I mean, obviously the Olympics are on now and the boxing and stuff, and we're doing all right there and stuff. And it seems things starting to move in the right direction.
It just seems like we're getting back to that little bit of normality again now. I mean, even with like obviously the football season's going to be starting soon, and other seasons are although I ain't been told that I ain't going, so I'm hoping sort of.
I'm turning up.
I'm going. Yeah, whatever happens, I'm turning up. I'll be at the door. But so just have to wait and see. But it does seem like we're getting back to some sort of normality now. So
yeah. It is. It's going to be that time in it where I think when your kids are older and stuff like that. And do you remember that time where we had to stay in and watch?
I mean, my missus said to me the other day. Can you believe that we've gone through a pandemic? It's mad, isn't it? It's crazy to think. So, but everyone's had to do it, isn't they? Unfortunately, so.
It's that great time, as I said, about 30, 40 years time where I'll be like talking to my grandkids. And there was a time where I watched all the Friends episodes in one go.
I think I've seen Game of Thrones twice as well now. I've done the Game of Thrones twice.
I haven't even got around to that. I can't even got around to that. I'm one of those. I like to get into a series, but I don't like sharing a series. Do you know what I mean? I like to do it on my own because, like Mrs. Budden will say, "Oh, let's sit down and watch this."
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then I'll come down and do one of these. I'll go back up, and she's already 3 or 4 episodes in.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, no, same for me. Where I work, night work, my missus say the same thing, and then she'll go, "Yeah, I've seen 2 or 3 now," and I go, "I ain't watching it now." Then it don't matter, does it? So done. I'm out of the way.
TKO on that one, TKO on that one. And obviously, as you said, we've got a few weeks left before the season starts. It seems weird. I'm not really in the 2021-22 season mode yet. Do you know what I mean? I think because you had Euros and stuff.
Yeah, it's sort of the break's not been long enough yet, is it? So it's a little bit different, isn't it? So
I feel sorry for the guys
if we start getting busy in the transfer window.
Well, hopefully it'll be typical because I'm going away for a few days, so guaranteed it's gonna all kick off and it'll all happen, and I'll come back and it'll be just dead again. But it is weird. And also when you think like people like Deck, who's I think he's like in Ibiza at the moment, lucky bugger, and he hasn't had a break for
that's right, exactly
18 months really. Because even when we finished the the 2019-20 season, there was only a couple of weeks before we started the new season.
Straight back in again. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, 100%. I mean, lucky enough, he's a fit lad, isn't he? He's a young and fit lad. But no, I think I don't think he's due back for another couple of weeks yet. I think they're like a week. I think I heard something like they're due back a week before the season starts or something like that. Yeah. So they're going to get a 3 or 4 week period where they obviously having a little bit of a break. And like I say, he's out in our beef at the moment. So yeah, and they deserve it 100%. I mean, the Euros was brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh, it was great, wasn't it? It reaffirmed my love of England. I'm not like a real, like, when it comes to like the friendlies and stuff, I'm not into it. No. But like this one, I think it was just but this team, I like the team. I think, again, there's a lot of parallels with West Ham, I think.
Yeah, I think the Gareth Southgate.
Get set up for the Vic, Unchained Melody.
Weird, isn't it? Gareth Southgate, he just seems to have everything for him. I just think what he's created with the team has been brilliant. And I'm he's a good manager, I think, and it's one for the future. I think we're going to keep him for a long, long time, hopefully.
Yeah, and it's similar to, I think, it's great. And being a West Ham fan, it means, my wife, when we lost the final, she went, "Aren't you upset?" I'm like, but I'll tell you, upsetness. Yeah, Steven Gerrard in the 87th minute in Cardiff. That's real upsetness.
Yeah, no,
not 100%. This team, but but it's like, because they have a special bond, it's very similar to, I think, West Ham last season as well. In that, a lot of people before last season were like not twitchy with West Ham, but it was like, as you said, you're a season ticket holder. A lot of people saw it as a bit of a chore going to West Ham. Yeah. They went because they had to, because they paid the ticket.
Of course, yeah.
But now everyone's clucking to go back now. Clucking.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone I speak to, all the West Ham fans I know, and they're 100%. They can't wait for the season to start. But you just need that little bit of investment in the squad again. I mean. I thought it was quite weird that we've let certain players go. Even with Anderson, I know, and people will probably sound mad, but we're going into Europa League. We need a squad. So keep hold of these players. Do you know what I mean? Let them go into like the Europa League and stuff like that. They might not be good enough for the Premier League, but the Europa League is a different sort of football, isn't it? It's a little bit more titty-tatty sort of thing. So yeah, I probably would have kept them, but then is it because of the wage bill? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think if you've got like sort of younger kids who could probably do a job on a tenth of the wages.
As long as you start bringing them through, as long as you bring them players through, like that Connor Coventry and stuff like that. You hear about every pre-season, oh yeah, he's done great, he's doing brilliant, and then he never sees the side. Like, put him in the side. Let's see how he gets on.
Similar to Josh Cullen, wasn't it? It was always Josh Cullen. This was the year for Josh Cullen. This was the year.
Again, we've let him go. And it just seems like we say we've got good talent, and then we sort of let people go.
Mm. We'll see. As you said, I think we signed a few good youngsters who seem to be performing quite well in the pre-season. So I think, and to be honest, although we all want to see a marquee, 40, 50 million pound striker, that's not us. That's not us.
I don't think we're not that side, are we? We haven't got that. We you know what I mean? We're not going to pull in. Be very rare that you go and pull in a 50, 60 man. Like, that ain't going to happen. Yeah. We're probably going to do a couple of 20 million pound signings, or, and bring in 2 or 3 for that sort of money. You're not going to ever get that big, unless, I know they're talking about this takeover thing going, but unless someone like that gets over to West Ham, then that's not going to be the case.
But still, I think, for us, we talk about identity, and I know, West Ham's is really close to you as well. Yeah. And it's like, you say, and, you look at someone like Man City, and Man City don't really have an identity. Do you know what I mean? They're just a generic football team. And I think for us, it's not about, we've tried the experiment. We went down the Pellegrini route. We spent big money on Anderson, big money on Haller. Fornals turned out all right, but for us, for me, I get more pleasure being made to look an idiot by the transfers. So obviously last season we brought in Soufal, and everyone went £5 million for a right back. Yeah. What's this, Charlie? Yeah, one of the best right backs in the Premier League last season.
To be fair, it's probably one of the best right backs we've ever had.
Exactly. Yeah, well, in recent history, definitely. You know what I mean?
Like, so for me, what I've seen, he's up there. He's definitely up there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's surprising.
We scoffed at that, and even like Souček, we scoffed at this guy who is 60 million. You could sell him for 60 million, no problem. Now.
Yeah, all day long. That's had a great Euros as well.
Yeah, fantastic Euros. Owen's the same. We bought him for 19. Liverpool want to pay 30 odd for a million for him. Yeah. So all right. Well, that's how we operate as a club. That's our and I get great pride seeing these players come through. And we've always had it. It's never been any different. Rio, Paulins, people like that, guys who have gone through and worked there, come through as an academy, through the academy. We sell them on, or we bought them on cheap. Jermaine Defoe, people like that, bought them in cheap, sell them on, and then that's I think at the moment,
listen,
I think
I don't sit as a West Ham fan and expect myself to to ever see West Ham win a Premier League or anything like that. But you just expect some sort of success. So if it means going to be like a Europa League or something like that, just have a go and don't go into it that you're already beaten. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
That's my thing, really.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we'll make a good account of ourselves in the Europa League. I think
I think so.
We're in a situation where I think we're not seeded, so I think we'll have big teams. We're playing big teams in that league, but that's when we turn up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. If you can't get up for if you end up with a real, a good side, a known good European side, it's going to be great. Like wherever it is, if it's at our ground, their ground, whatever way it works, like I think it'd be brilliant. I think.
Yeah, I think it's a reward for the fans who have been, since followed them for thick and thin, and now they get a nice bit of sun. Hopefully,
exactly.
Boris lets us do it, and so
if he lets us out,
if he lets us out, we might be able to go. But and we'll guarantee 3 away days anyway. So that's just
hope
we get some good ones, man. Hope we get some good ones. Why West Ham, Mark? Why is it your club, man?
Just. To be fair, I got my first ever match I went was with my nan. My nan used to be a season ticket holder over there.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was my first ever game. I think it was Everton or something like that. I think we got beat 4-2. I couldn't tell the year or anything like that. It was a long time ago. I was a baby, like a young boy. And then used to have one of them things, where they rattle and things like that, making that sort of noise, drive everyone mad around them. But she was just a crazy old bird. But it was brilliant.
Love it.
But just that's how it started. And I'm originally from Silvertown, like East London, so it was just that was it. I went with my nan. Like I say, my dad's not a massive football fan or anything, so it was all through my nan really. And then as I got older, a few of my uncles had season tickets. Like a couple of my uncles had season tickets, so I started going with them. Then it was like, Dad, can I get a season ticket? Can I go with them? And it just sort of just goes on and on and on, and it just it is what it is, isn't it? You're sort of part of it, and you can't get out of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like quicksand, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah, once you're in it, mate, you ain't getting out of there.
You can't fight, and you fight. It's always with quicksand, isn't it? You fight and you go down faster.
It just gets worse.
And obviously, it's one of those things that you said. It's a family affair, so to speak, with your nan and stuff. Yeah. And obviously,
I mean, most of my family are West Ham fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like most of them, there ain't many that ain't West Ham fans. And it's just part and parcel of being an East London boy, I suppose. That's what it was.
Yeah, and obviously then the whole boxing thing and West Ham and boxing and bowling boy and just sort of worked, didn't it?
It just works. Yeah, I mean the bowling ball that come from a friend of mine who was running like some of my social media, and he was like, and he come out with his name, and I was a little bit like, it's going to work now, and it just did. It just worked. Do you know what I mean? So it was good. It's been really, really good, and I just can't wait to get back in there and get back fighting. To be fair.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, isn't it? It's like any time there's a West Ham guy fighting, or even with the golf with Billy Ho, in it.
It's just massive.
They all get behind them.
Yeah, they do, and that's what it's about. It is a massively family orientated club, and it just seems to be. It sounds a bit cliche, but it is. It's a West Ham family, isn't it? So
true. It's really true, man. It's really true, and I know more than anything. Doing this thing for the last year or so, talking to people all over the world. Not this. Some people will never have stepped foot in Newham, but they are as passionate as you and me about West Ham.
Yeah, no, and
even more so.
That's the history of the club, I think, and it does seem that even like foreign land, like people follow us, sort of like the Italians and things like that. I mean, I know a lot of boys who go over to Italy and follow the Lazio and stuff like that, and then they'll get the passion of them that they come back over here with us, and it's crazy. So it's just that club feeling. I think everyone loves it, don't they? So
yeah. And particularly for you, if you're walking out and there's loads of West Ham fans there as well, it just
there's no better feeling than coming out to Bubbles, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. It's true. Yeah, it's so true. I get. Obviously, I'm very fortunate to play the song, and it's great. But I can imagine as a sportsman going out to your club song, that's like the pinnacle. I mean, I don't think Moyes is gonna pick you for the first team, Mark, anymore.
No.
All the eternity, it's
definitely. It's a brilliant feeling. You stand behind that curtain, like for me, the York Hall.
Yes,
the bubbles start, and that's how my music starts. Obviously with bubbles. And And when I have a massive West Ham following, and it's like the start of a football game. It is mad how it starts, and I'm sure, hopefully it only gets bigger as it goes on. Hopefully now these shows start happening again.
Oh yeah, nothing like your call, is there?
Nah,
there's nothing. Like
you can't beat it.
We had my mates. There was 3 of them who used to all box, all brothers. They all used to box, but I think they all boxed the same weight, but they never boxed each other like the Klitschko's. And we'd all turn up for them 3. And we'd all fuck off.
No, so, yeah, and do you know what? It's the same for me. Don't get me wrong. Like my lot, I sell a lot of tickets, and they're probably there 1 or 2 fights before, and as soon as I'm finished, they're all back in the pub. They're all gone.
I know.
You know what I mean? They're gone.
I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to all back to them. That was great nights out at your call. I love it. I love it around there as well. And as you said, with the West Ham lot, and there's always been a connection with boxing in the West Ham. A lot of West Ham fans of boxing boxers are West Ham fans and stuff. And we've talked. We had Eddie on the other day. Eddie Muscat. We got
Eddie Muscat is my cutsman. Eddie's like in my corner every fight. So it's and I've known Eddie since Eddie will tell you probably changed my ass as a kid. Do you know what I mean? So I've known him for a long time, Eddie. A long time.
I love it. It's a new world. To be honest, I've been so not unwoke, self-awake to this world. I just didn't know about it and the boxing in the West. And then obviously, you talk to people and other people talk, and everyone knows each other. It's like, oh my god.
And even for me, like now, like I see people and they know who I am, and I'm a little bit like, wow, that's kind of weird. But no, it's a mad family. Like the way the boxing thing works, the way the West Ham thing works. It's it's good. It's good things.
I love it. I absolutely adore it. I think it's brilliant. And as you said, it's one of those places. I mean, you go on holiday and whatnot. You'd always bump into a West Ham fan on holiday.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you always see someone in a West Ham shirt, or you get a West Ham beach towel they've got on the bed in the morning. Don't know about that.
Yeah. My wife hates it because literally that's all I pack. It's just West Ham shirt. It's easy around the beach, around the pool, isn't it? It's easy.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
And it's like, I see one or someone, or I'll hear a Cockney accent or something, or an Essex accent.
Yeah.
And my wife just rolls her eyes because she knows in like 5 minutes' time, I'll be the best mate. I'll be the best mate. I'll be at the bar. Come meet Craig. He lives in Hornchurch. It's always
no, definitely.
I love it. And it's just, you're right. Everyone just doesn't matter who they are, where they come from. If they're West Ham, they're just like today. I was talking to a family. The dad's Albanian, and I just found out that he's a massive West Ham fan. So he spent the last half hour talking about West Ham, and I never even knew he was a West Ham fan. And it's just and I was I did the channel. He's brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. It's one of those. It's good fun, isn't it? It's good fun.
No,
and
definitely,
as you said,
100%.
And as you said, seeing people, when people recognise you as well, obviously because of the stuff you do, and brilliant. It's all good stuff, man. It's all good stuff. And hopefully next season. By the way, who was your Hammer of the Year last year? Who would you vote for? Who would you vote for?
I think it'd probably be between Rice, just because of what he'd done all year, really, or Bonner. I think for me, I thought Bonner was incredible for the majority. That I mean, I know he was injured for a little bit, but I thought Bonner was super. He seems to be getting better with age. So,
frustrating, isn't it, with him? Where he's just getting into the age where he's really playing well,
and he gets these little. Obviously, now he's getting these little knocks here and there, and they're going to take a little bit longer to get thingy. But I think. For me, he's one of the best centre halves we've ever had, Bonner. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does. He just maybe he's overlooked because of where he's playing. I mean, because it's at West Ham. So I mean, if he was in a top, what you would say a normal top 4, top 6 side, then I think he would get a lot more credit for how good he is. I mean, he didn't even make the Italian squad, did he, this year for the Euros? And all right, maybe he had a couple of little knocks through the season, but for me, I thought he was superb.
I think he is. I think you're totally right. I think it's that sort of, I mean, even with England, you have to be Declan Rice to get in the England team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, and that's because of who he is now. That's not because he plays at West Ham, because I think he'd still make that squad. Yeah. But it probably still is. Yeah, but he's only at West Ham. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which it is what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
And that's the difficulty in it going forward now. It's because he is, he's now in, he's a stalwart with the England team.
Yeah.
He's almost one of the first names.
Now, as West Ham as a club, we have to step step up again now, because this
To
has to
show
continue,
ambition.
like the Europa League.
Yeah.
You're going to play if you play well in the Europa League and get another Europa League next year, and it starts to get a little bit consistent, then you're going to have players want to play for West Ham, and you're going to have players want to stay at West Ham.
Yeah, I remember it was beginning of the transfer window. There was a couple of guys that we tried to nab in the previous summer window, and they didn't want to come to us because they were saying, "Oh, you know, it wasn't West Ham." Now they're happy to come to us, and everyone's like, "Oh, I wouldn't take them. Wouldn't take them." You know, like Tarkovsky and people like that. Well, that's exactly what we need to do. We need to be in a more attractive. So that shows that it's working.
People want to play European football, regardless of what people think.
do.
People want to play European football, and Europa League is it's nowhere near as big as the Champions League, obviously, but it's European football. You're still going to play European football, and you're still going to play on big stages. So yes, it's attractive, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, man. And that's the thing. It shows that it's working, and I just think, as you said, a little bit of investment here, not widespread, just but
I don't think we massively need to. I mean, I'm not saying we have to go out and and spend millions and millions. But you can't let players go if you're trying to build a squad that's going to be playing European football, because there's a lot more games. And if you want to be successful in there, you're going to play more games. And I think whatever happens as a West Ham fan, I think most would agree with me, is they love a cup run. And we've not been good enough in any cup runs of late sort of thing since 2005, 2006 season was the FA Cup one. Before then, who knows? And after that, we've had nothing, have we? So I think that's going to be the big thing, is trying to get a good cup run, and then see how we get on in the Europa League. Hopefully, it ain't just a couple of weeks in and you're out. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully, we have a little bit of a go in it. I mean, I think if we was to get out of the group, I think that's quite successful, if I'm honest.
I agree.
For the first time in sort of ever. So I think if we was to get out of there, then who knows? Because you don't know what the games are going to be like. And if you do get one of the big European sides, does that make a player play better? Yes, of course. Obviously, you're going to be right up for it. You're going to want to, and then you never know. You never know where it takes you. But I think getting out of the group, I think, would be a big achievement for West Ham, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think getting out of the group, I think that would be a great result for us. As you said, from a low, and again, it's about knowing our place at the moment. We're not. We're going to be, I think, we're in the third pool, so we're not in the first. So we're going to get like big teams we're playing against. So a bit of realism as well. And again, it's the first time they played in Europe, and a lot of those guys. I mean, the Czech boys, they played in Europe, but there's not that many people in our squad who have played European football properly.
Definitely,
not Astragugu like Mark did, but like proper European football.
Yeah, like proper European. Yeah, this is proper Europa League that you're going to watch on TV. That everyone's going to be a little bit interested. Not like you say, Astra, whoever they were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Play properly, sort of thing.
So true. But and it's when Mark lifts the Europa League trophy in May next year, we qualify automatically for the Champions League next year, regardless of where we are. So it's fine.
Don't get
it's part excited. Of the plan. Trust in Moyes. Trust in Moyes Sire. He knows what he's doing. But Right, let's talk about year 11 then Mark, because you're a busy man. I don't want to take you for too long. So as everyone we have on the channel puts together an 11, apart from Harry Redknapp, Ian Bishop, and Nigel Coker. They're the only three who haven't. Fair enough. You can pick whoever you want based on whatever criteria you want, but the only rule is you have to be alive to have seen them play. Otherwise, we'd have all put Bobby Moore in, Trevor Brook. I
did. I have put a little thing together, and I was thinking about. I never see him play. Like, yes, he was obviously the greatest, but I didn't see him play. I don't know.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
And so, he'd be in your dream 11, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, and also, it makes it special when people do pick him because they've either played with him or they saw him play. And so it's more of a
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. So for the little 11, who's going to go between the sticks?
For me, it's got to be Robert Green.
Robbie Green.
And purely because I think my sort of era of West Ham, for me personally, like what I remember was like the FA Cups, like the 2005-2006 season. So there'd be quite a few players from that season.
Yeah.
But I just thought he'd done so coming through. I just thought he was brilliant for us. Like for all the time we have, I know, people would probably say at the end he probably done a bit dirty, but I thought he was brilliant for us when he was between the six. I thought he was brilliant for us. So I'd go with Robert Green.
Yeah, and you're right. He's, and we've obviously we've interviewed a lot of players as well, and they speak very highly about his professionalism as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Jimmy Walker and stuff like Roy Carroll. They all.
To be fair, Jimmy Walker would be another one if he was in the team more. Do you know what I
mean? He was in the team more. If he wasn't down 195, enough.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I mean, I've played with Jimmy a couple of times in a couple of charity games, and he's a brilliant bloke, a real lovely fella. But but I think for me, Robert Green, that would be mine.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I totally agree, man. I totally agree. I think Jimmy put Robert Green in his own thing. So there we go.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll put Robin. Who's your first defender? Let's go defenders first. Who's your first?
Right,
defender?
my first defender. Now, I'm just going with him because he's a legend, and it would have to be Julian Dix.
Yeah.
And I see him play, which was good. I mean, very, very young, but I did see him play. And he managed me, and again, he managed me in one of my
Isla game.
Yeah, in my Isla game. So, and he picked me in his first 11, so I could not pick Julian Dix. You know what I mean,
it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. I mean, funny. Like if you was in the team, Mark, if you was in the squad, I don't think I wouldn't not pick you as like starter. And in the same way, if he hadn't picked, I don't think you'd go up to Julian and have a word with him, would you?
No, you couldn't really say something. You didn't pick me. Yeah, sit down. All right, mate. No worries. I'll sit down.
Sorry.
So to go into the changing room just before the kickoff of the Isla game and to see that my name was on his starting 11, I was pretty impressed. I thought, and then also everything about him, Julian Dix was great, wasn't it? So that'll be Julian Dix, the first one. I have him left back. My right back, I would have to go with, just because I don't think we've had many good ones, really. If I'm honest, in my time, for me, and I'm only going by this as in he was just a character, would be Thomas Repka.
Yeah,
just because he was an absolute fruitcake. Like, do you know what I mean? When you look back at what we've had, I don't think we've had brilliant. Other than, like I say now, if I could, or not if I could, but he ain't been here long enough. I don't think really would be the current one, Kufal. I think he would be up there, probably one of our best right backs that we've ever had.
Do you know what I mean? I think so. Yeah, I totally agree.
I'm going to go with Thomas Repka on that one at right
back. I'm seeing a theme in this team, Mark. You know, we've had Julian Dix and Thomas Repka. I'm seeing a slight theme.
Yeah, it gets better in a minute. No, it gets better. Then my first centre back for me will have to be Ginge.
I was going to say Ginge. It's probably nailed on with those three already.
Yeah, 100% James Collins. I mean, again, he's probably another player who didn't get enough credit for what he done for us. If I'm honest, I think he was superb. And I think the club probably should have given him a bit more, if I'm honest. And I think it's the fans. The fans absolutely adore him, and I think they will do forever. Yeah. But I think the club definitely owe him a proper testimonial and things like that. I think he definitely deserved that. And
I think with him, I think with Ginge as well. I think that for me, that epitomised when that's sort of my change in football as a mentality. It was almost like if that was 10 years ago, for example. The club or a club wouldn't have thought twice about offering him another year.
No,
but, it's different 100%. Now, and it's
it seems like it's like you're not allowed. You think no, you are allowed. Like you're in charge. You're the club. Like And I think when you've got all the fans who wanted it for another year, just to keep him on the, you'd have him on the bench, wouldn't you? Like he was superb. Yeah. You could, if you had to call upon someone, he would be the man you'd call upon. I thought he was brilliant for us.
I totally agree.
The second centre half, again, this is really hard. I mean, there's a few I could have gone with. But again, as I spoke about him earlier, for me, I think Ogbonna's been one of our best. Like in my time, there was a few, again, going back to like the 2005, 2006 season, would have been like Danny Gabardon or someone like that. Again, I played with Danny Gabardon in one of the games as well. He was brilliant, not a real good bloke. But for me, Ogbonna, I think he's just, since we've had him, I think he's been superb. And I wish we'd have had him a lot younger, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Totally.
But, I think he's been superb. So
I think someone I interviewed recently said that he's going to go down as one of the best centre backs we've had in the last 20 years. And I laughed for a minute, but then I thought, went back and went, actually, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Well, that's and if you say 20 years, I mean, I'm only 32, and say I would have been 12 years old. Like, who else have we really had? Like, really, that sticks in your mind that actually does what he does? And it would be, like I say, it'd be the Collins or the Danny Gabardons. I couldn't really think of anyone else who had done sort of
like Winston Reid, maybe. But then,
again, Winston Reid, but that sort of, it never really happened for him, did it? It was always sort of. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to go with Ogbonna there. So.
Good shout. Right, okay, we go. Back four, back goalkeeper. Right, midfield. Start with you, midfield. Then who are we going to go first then, Mark?
Number one would have to be Nobes for me.
Nobes.
Like, straight in the middle, Nobes. He's Mr. West Ham, isn't he? Like that's it. Do you know what I mean? For my age group, I can't remember anyone being as committed to a football club as him. I don't think there's anyone probably in the Premier League as committed to any club to them what he's been. So, and just a genuine nice geezer. Do you know what I mean? I think every fan will be absolutely gutted on the last game of the season this year. But yeah, no, definitely Nobes has been up there. I think with the best. Maybe not the best player we've ever had, but I think I think he's probably the best person the club's ever had. Like,
that's interesting.
You know
I know what you mean. Yeah, in modern history, definitely. Like,
definitely.
I know exactly what you mean. Best person. You're right. He's.
And I think, like I say, in my sort of age range, I think, I mean, I'm sure, like I say, with the likes of Bobby Moore and all that, yes, he would have definitely been in there. Of course, the Brookings and stuff like that. But yeah, there ain't no one like Mark, I don't think, if I'm honest. So yeah,
not now.
No.
He's a throwback, and he's a throwback to the era. He's a throwback to the Bonds era and stuff like that.
And that's the sort of the era that's dead, really. And I think it's like you say, coming to the end of next season, like this season coming up, it's going to be the end of that era of all players. I think there ain't many left. I don't think there's anyone left in the Premier League like him, like that one club man who sort of. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so Nobes would be the first one.
Yeah, it's the end of an era. Yeah, he's like not just Mark, but it's the end of an era in the Premier League.
Yeah,
that's really worrying. That makes me really sad in a weird way.
Yeah, it is. It's because there ain't no one like it, is there?
Nah,
you don't really see. I mean, Deck could do it at West Ham, right? And I'm sure. But do players do that anymore? I don't think they do. So
no.
And I can understand why whatever you think, and I mean, people probably don't like this idea, but money is everything now. So
it's true.
If someone's going to come to you and say, right, we're going to give you $100,000 a week and you can come play for us, chances are he's going to go. And it's probably more than that now. It's probably $150,000 a week or something stupid like that. So yes, like you can't knock these players for it, regardless of what anyone says, because I know if I was doing my normal day-to-day job and someone was doing the same thing as me and offered me double my wages, triple my wages, I know where I'm going. So
exactly. And I think
it's not greed, it's normality. Like it's in your head. Like
that's it, normality.
Yeah,
that's it, normality. And it's a disconnect, isn't it?
Anybody who says they wouldn't do that, they're lying, because that's just stupid. Like
it's true.
If you can go and do the same thing on double or triple your wages as that you're doing on, no, sorry, mate, I don't want to do that because I want to play for West Ham. It doesn't work like that. There is no loyalty in football like that.
No, it's not. It's not, and it's a disconnect. And I think we assume as fans that that's what, because we would do that as a as a West Ham fan, that would be the representative of everyone, but it's not. And it's like, and I think, and it's. And I mean, we interviewed Michael Hughes the other day, and bless him, I had to cut half of the interview up because he started talking about all he talked about was he was talking about how money's ruined the game, and it has ruined the game for me in some respects. In that, obviously, I've interviewed guys like, in our era, I've interviewed John Moncur, people like that. Real characters of the game, guys you would go for a pint with afterwards. There's a reason, I've said it before, there's a reason why people have been itching to go back to those ex-player nights with Machiavelli and Cotta. The stories do not change. The stories are exactly the same fucking stories that Mac told. But you go back because you relate to him. I don't think in 20 years' time I'm going to go to the Queen's and see an evening with Sebastian Haller and Felipe Anderson hosted by Manuel Lanzini. No disrespect to them.
No.
But you don't. I could easily probably go back and still see Macca in 20 years' time. And Tony Cottee talking about getting on the milk float with Julian Dix. I know the story. I know the punchline, but I will pay 20 quid to go and see it.
100%. Yeah.
And I think that's a difficult. And
I think that's someone. Do you know? For me, is Lanzini. I mean, he's not in my 11. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's someone at the club who generally wants to be at the club as well. And I think. I don't know if it's, maybe Moyes sees something different to other players, but or different in training or whatever. But I think he's class. I really do. And I think the more you give him game time, I think the better he gets. And yes, we get the odd super goal out of him like he did at Spurs and all that. But I think he just needs time. But everyone, I mean, you never hear a bad mouth from him. Like, a lot of the foreign players would come out already and I think they'd already be gone. They'd all be off out the door sort of thing. And he's been there through, a few managers now. And he just... he doesn't play all the time, but it doesn't seem to there's never a bad word from him. It's not like you never see it in the press. Oh, yeah, he wants to go. He ain't playing football, blah, blah. I just think players like, I think he's been a good servant to us, if I'm honest. And I think he probably deserves it again, a bit more game time.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously, when he played in that sort of withdrawn midfield player, role, he played really well. But was it Burnley? I think he played that game.
Yeah, I think the injury, to be fair, I think the knee injury absolutely killed him, from the player he was. And sometimes it does. I suppose sometimes it does affect a player.
It does.
And it does seem like he's one of them players who has been affected massively by it.
Yeah, my thing with Lanzini is I think he's always plays better when he's playing with a fellow skillful player. So obviously he played best when he was with Payet. With Payet was the main man. He was number 2. He gets injured. Payet leaves. He comes back. We're like, oh, it's okay. We've got our rough diamond. We've got our guy, and it's too much pressure for him. No, exactly.
100%.
Yeah, and then he goes away, comes back, and since he's come back, he's got Ben Rama, he had Lingard, he had Fornals, he had players around him who could play a bit as well, and he seems to relaxed a bit more. I totally agree with your point about Lanzini. He just, and that's the thing, you do get these ones, these foreign players occasionally, like Repka, for example. You know, massive West Ham. He loved his time at West Ham.
Loved the club, didn't he? Yeah,
loved the club. I
think you're getting the same with Souček and Kufal now. Like, I think they're the same. They're different. They're a different breed of foreign player. Like, do you know what I mean? They've got that sort of, I suppose that sort of Britishness about them in the sense that they're going to the club and they love the club and they want to do well for the club. They want to do well with the fans, and I think you get that with Lanzini, but you probably don't see enough.
No, you don't see it in terms of passion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree, man. Right. Anyway, that's nobling.
Sorry. Right. Next one is. He's become a bit of a mate of mine now. He's a good bloke. Jack Collison.
Oh, I love Jack.
Another one who, unfortunately, injury probably ruined him early on. But I thought he was, and again, played football with him a few times now, and been on some nights with him, like for the Tony Gale nights and stuff like that at the West Ham events. Top player. I mean, in the Island's game a little, last year, the year before, wherever it was. He's still class, absolutely class. And just to be around someone like him, like I say, to watch them players play and then they become like they talk to you like it's the norm is crazy.
Yeah.
So, I thought Jack was brilliant. So going to go with Jack on that one as well.
Yeah, it's good to see him doing well at Atlantic.
Yeah, he's doing really well out there. So
that's United. Great stuff. Second team, doing well, man, doing well. Okay, so we've got Nobes, we got Jack in. Who's next?
Right, I'm going to go for a left winger. And this is probably going to surprise a few. But I'm going to go with Matty Everton.
Oh, nothing with Matty. Oh, big fan of Matty.
Again, purely because like I say, the 05, 06, probably 07 seasons, they were like busy seasons. Like, they was like the best season for me. That's like what I remember. Like, they're like the one that really give you that bit between your teeth as a West Ham fan. I thought we was, you know what I mean? So I could have gone with, to be fair, I thought about Konchesky and him like in this 11 purely because of them. Do you know what I mean? Dixie had to be the one. But Matty Everton I thought was superb.
He was the last for me. When we interviewed him, I told him that I said you were like the last of the proper wingers. Like,
definitely.
Even before him, we had Lazaridis and stuff.
Yeah, and I thought him and Konchesky, like the way they partnered down that left hand side was brilliant. And like I say, going into the 2005-2006 season, FA Cup final, they for me they're the one.
Yeah, they're brilliant. Yeah, good old Matty. Like big fan of Matty. Right, okay, so we've got Matty on the left. Who's next?
Right, I ain't going to go for a right, but I was right stuck for this one to be fair. But I'm going to go with Tevez.
Yeah, go just whack him in.
Yeah, just going to whack him in there because he could go anywhere anyway. So
he did anyway, to be honest, Mark. Didn't he, to be fair.
For me, other than Payet, as much as I wanted to put him in squad, I can't because I think he's a dog. For me, Tevez is probably the second best player I've ever seen play football at West Ham.
Yeah,
I remember watching him. I think it was Middlesbrough in a game, and I used to sit behind the. I used to sit in the Bobby Moore stand at the Boleyn, and this bit of class, this little bit of skill he done. I watched him, and I was just like in awe of the man. I just thought, wow, that he was just unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely unbelievable. Carlos Tevez again, another one. Just he had that ability, didn't he? Just to change a game unbelievably. So Carlos Tevez.
You talk about foreign players as well, and how they associate. I mean, he epitomised. I mean, he brought back all that. We didn't do it for about 20 years until he came back.
he come back and done it in a Man United shirt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't even do it in a West Ham shirt.
Yeah. But he was class, wasn't he? And I remember we had Anton on us. Was it Anton? Yeah, I think we had Anton on. And he said that when obviously that Tottenham game where he scored and jumped in the crowd, and we lost that game, didn't we? But that sort of kicked start that whole sort of great escape thing.
Yeah, that was the kick up the arse that we all needed. And yeah, he had that bit about him, didn't he?
He did, and Anton said that's when Carlos knew what it was to be a West Ham fan.
West Ham, 100%.
That was it.
Yeah, definitely.
And he tells a funny, I love his story. I always tell it. So Carlos never learned to learn English. Mascherano did, but Carlos never. So he employed basically a translator 24/7, and he would go everywhere, including when they'd go to I don't know. Not Spirit Rhino, but they'd go to I don't know, what is it? What was the nightclubs up in London at that time? But he'd be on the dance floor with the translator talking to Anton and Gabs and stuff. I can imagine just him sweating profusely trying to say,
yeah, exactly.
You're right, mate. Yeah.
You want a beer?
Yeah, exactly. You know, Sylvester. No, that's Spanish, but anyway, he's Portuguese. Yeah. He's Argentinian, but it's Portuguese. Yeah. We'll put Tevez in. Right. Okay. Up front, who's your first striker then?
Again, this was really, really hard. Like really, really hard. I'm going to go with Di Canio.
Yep.
Just because of everything about him. I see him play live a couple of times. Again, I was probably really, really young. I was really young. Not probably. I was really young. But just seeing him play, he was right up there. Do you know what I mean? He again. Early sort of years of me becoming a proper football fan, as a West Ham fan, should I say as well. But yeah, Carlos Tevez. I mean, the passion, everything about him was, you know what I mean, was everything West Ham, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? Again, it's probably not many foreign players who do that with a club now, the way he has. Is there any? I'm not too sure. But yeah, so for me, Mr. Di Canio.
No, I totally agree. And you're right. He's one of those guys. I think for me, he's like they realise. I think they realise. So we gave him a second chance, and in the Premier League, and that second chance caused him to be. And I've said it before, in the same bracket. If you're talking about Premier League greats, you're talking about Bergkamp, Zola, Henry, Di Canio.
100%.
He'd be in there. He wouldn't have been in there if he was still at Sheffield Wednesday with Benito Carbone.
No, 100%. He done. Well, yeah. What didn't he do at West Ham? Do you know what I mean? Probably scored one of the greatest ever Premier League goals against Wimbledon. Like that was probably it's got to be up there in the top 3, maybe.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah, and again, it just a passion of a foreign player that still never changed either, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like when you look at him, as much as Tevez does it still, I think with Di Canio, like he is again, he's Mr. West Ham, and he's not even English. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way he still speaks about him now. I remember the last game at the Boleyn when he done his speech and stuff like that. And even when you hear him on the TV now talking about West Ham,
still so passionate.
Yeah, and there ain't many foreign players who are like that. So Di Canio, and he was class when he had another player who could absolutely turn a game on his head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could be so frustrating to watch at times. And then he go and put a ball in the back.
But that's what made him.
Yeah.
Him. Do you know what I mean? The fact was he was frustrating. You didn't know necessarily what that's nothing against the current crop of players now.
Yeah.
They're quite consistent. They're all going to put a shift in.
Yeah.
But you didn't know if you turned up at the Boleyn, you didn't know what Di Canio was going to turn up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you hear some of the stories like from Harry Redknapp and stuff like that. When he'd be like, he'd sort of be begging him, please, just go on the pitch and do your thing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If he didn't want to do it, he probably wouldn't have done it. So, Di Canio is up there.
Yeah, top man. Right, okay, we've got one more spot then. Mark, who's it going to be?
Now, this was the hardest one, to be fair. I had 3 players in name for it, but the one I went with, for me, again, just because of the run-up to the final and stuff like that, would have been Marlon Harewood.
Oh, Mazza's in.
Yeah, he was superb. And again, I played with Marlon twice now, like for the charity games and things, and genuinely an absolutely top geezer. And I remember saying to him on the pitch for Isla's first game, and I sort of stood with him and I said, I'm in awe of this. He was like, what do you mean? I said, like 2005, 2006 season, I was watching you in the FA Cup final for West Ham. And like now I'm playing in the same pitch with, like I'm playing on the pitch with you. And it was just like, yeah, I was like a big kid. Do you know what I mean? I still
Yeah,
am
of
now.
course you'll
When I
be.
get, if I get retweets from them, if I get a
Oh,
comment by
yeah,
them, and
yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like silly things, and it's the same with the football and the boxing. Like anyone who, I'm like a big kid still. So yeah, no, I was yeah, Marlon. I could have gone with Carlton Cole, and probably technically, probably Dean Ashton, but for me, it was Marlon Airwood for me.
I'm the same with you, man. I still get giddy when you know, it's like the other day I said to someone the other day, I plugged my phone into my car and it's got the car play and it says like, and it's got like the last people you've called and the last people you text like comes up and I'm like, that's mental. You know, like the play, it's like my, I don't know, 10-year-old self, 12-year-old self be like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I know.
yeah,
And
exactly.
Marlon's, I mean, as you said, Marlon's a top man. He's he's the busiest man in football officially, because we've been trying to get together for this show for about 18 months almost. Actually, no, I was going to say less than Bobby. No, Bobby Zamora took ages as well. But Marlon, busiest man in football with his cars.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
he's doing well with that.
He's doing great. They're doing fantastic, aren't they? AC13,
brilliant stuff.
Absolutely brilliant. And there it is. There's the team. I like it.
I can take that. That's pretty good, isn't it?
I'll take that, mate. I'll take that Europa League success. No problem at all. At all. Mark, I promised 45 minutes. Bang on almost. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, man. We finally got there. Listen, it's been great.
Yeah, we finally got there. It's been really good. Thanks for having me on again. Like I say, it's a pleasure to be on something like this. So that's great.
Absolute pleasure. And we'll keep an eye out for all the announcements. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We can
later this week, mate. Fingers crossed. Later this week, it will be out. It will be out.
Good. I'm glad, mate. I'm glad, man. And myself and from Mark, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Get those jab appointments. Come on, you irons. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone.